I was going to tell you guys a time traveling joke, but you didn't like it. The ammunition and equipment you see featured in today's episode of The Quiet Rifle came to me courtesy of Hermann Sporting Guns and Air Rifle Slugs Australia. Hermann's were nice enough to send me some slug liners so that I can test these heavier slugs out and make these videos for you. So if you do like what you see, make sure you skip on over to Hermann Sporting Guns website. There'll be a link in the description. They stock all things FX, lots of different accessories from lots of different manufacturers, full-size firearms, pistols, and a wide range of optics and accessories. So make sure you check them out. Air Rifle Slugs Australia has a huge range of slugs and a huge range of calibers, and they're also carrying element optics, patchworm cleaning kits, craft and lift, all the good stuff that you really want in your safe at home. They also have a 10% discount going on at the moment for items marked with this little hashtag, as you see here. The ZANs have got it. Nothing on the Patriots yet, but H&N, RAB, NSA, all of these other slugs down here, they've all got it. And if you pick 5 items and add them to your cart, doesn't have to be the same 5 items, but it could also be the same 5 items if you want. You can buy 5 boxes of the same slug or 5 different boxes of slugs, add it to your cart, and you'll get automatically a 10% discount on your items. As you can see here, we've got 5 packs of 22 cal slugs and it's given us 10% off. So if you are liking what you see in these videos and you do want to get your hands on some awesome slugs, go to airrifleslugaustralia.com. Lastly, if you live a little further away than Brisbane, because that's where Air Rifle Slugs is, jump on SJs Trading Co. and have a look at the Element Optics scopes. They've got awesome little helix, one of my favorite scopes. Find yourself a dealer near you and have one of these fine establishments send you one. Hey, we're back. We're back with another ammunition analysis for you. Today we are looking at the ZAN 22 caliber projectiles. These are a heavy one from ZAN. They're a 33 grainer with a very high ballistic coefficient. So if you cast your mind back to when I did my couple weeks back with the 25 caliber ZANs, they were excellent. They did really well. So high hopes for these ones. I was pretty happy with them. Let's get into it. They've got a lot to live up to if they've got to catch up with their big brother. So let's run the numbers. 22 caliber, 33 grains, BC of 0.107. That is astronomical. It's gigantic. It's super duper wonderful. I'm all about that. And I believe these ones, 218. Pretty sure they're 218s. This is a 218 version that I've got. I'm pretty sure that's all my homies down there at Air Rifle Slugs Australia have at the moment. As always, I took a sample size of 50 out of the old tinny tin tin, weighed them up, and put them back in. 29 of them came out at 32.9 grains. 13 of them came out at 33 on the dot, and 8 of them came out at 33.1. So very good. That's a nice tight weight distribution. 0.3 grains worth of, with like 3 different weights, all within 0.1 of a grain. Very nice tight distribution with 40 of them being within that 0.1 grain. Not quite as, maybe they got lucky. Maybe they got lucky last time when I weighed the 25s and I just weighed the best 50 of that packet. The condition that ZAN slugs are delivered in are always fantastic. Mostly due to the packaging, probably something to do with the way they're manufactured as well. But once they leave the factory, they are going to arrive undamaged. They're all individually packaged, so the packaging is similar, a similar design to the FX hybrid slug packaging. However, it's nice and soft. The FX packaging is harder than the lead is, so you can get a few little bumps and bruises from banging around in there. But the ZAN packaging is soft. It's a little bit more disposable, probably cheaper too, I don't know. But it does a really good job of not damaging the slugs and keeping them all separate. So ZAN slugs are always delivered in like mint condition. They're great. Price is 15 cents per shot for these 33 grain 22 cal one. The price varies as you go up in caliber and weight, but for these ones, $30 will get you 200 of them. That is cheaper than the Patriot 33 grainers, which are 20 cents a shot, a little bit spicier than the H&N 30 grains, which are 13 cents per shot, and also the NSA 31.2s at 12.3 cents per shot. So we've given them a score in the yellow for a fair market value, which I think is good considering the amount of lead that's in this. It's quite a heavy 22 caliber slug, and the ballistic coefficient is ridiculously good. It's so high. It's really good. They represent pretty good value. Not cheap, but definitely not expensive. Tuning. Tuned up my gun. I ran them at 165 bar of reg pressure. Maxed out the hammer spring and then gave it a couple of clicks back, so it was probably somewhere between 17.5 and 18 millimeters of hammer spring. It was quite low on the wheel. I believe it was D. So if you want to try that duplicate setting, just run those numbers, and it was about 8.5 mil on the valve. So not wide open. These seem to shoot very consistently. I was able to get between about 930 and 950 FPS to stabilize nicely and shoot nice and consistent. For some reason, these 218 33 grainers were easier to get up to speed than the Patriots were. I did the Patriots recently, and maybe the bearing surface is a bit longer. I don't know. Could be any number of factors, but I didn't really have any huge dramas shooting these 22 caliber ZANs fairly quickly. Not blazing fast. It wouldn't shoot them blazing fast, but it seemed pretty happy to punch them down range between 930 and 950. It wasn't the most consistent tune I've ever done, but it was pretty good. It was good enough. As always, the rig rundown, KLS 2 stock, beautiful from Craft and Lift, very adjustable, very nice and stable. Power plenum from ZAN. Standard 22 caliber pellet probe inside an ultra grip pellet probe carrier from Craft and Lift again. More Craft and Lift up top with the range extender, the extended trigger guard as well with the long Arca Swiss rail and the T-bar Picatinny, so I can mount it on my tripod and on my bipod. And Element Titan in an X-Tech mount with a Vortex ring on it. Bubble level ring. Standard 700mm barrel with the Superior heavy liner in it. I don't think that you would want to really waste too much time playing with these slugs in the standard liner. The standard Superior liner is great, but anything above sort of 26, 27, 28 grain projectile, I would be looking at moving over to the Superior heavy liner for that. All right, accuracy. For this particular day, I actually didn't really do a great deal of filming while I was on the range. I may have. I'll have to look through my footage and see if I can find something. But I had just shot the Patriot 26 grain 22 caliber Badubas, and I knew I was going to be pretty well bang on, so I didn't even bother shooting at 25 meters. Let's have a look at these 50 meter groups. We're looking at edge to edge, pretty much bang on an inch. 3/4 of an inch again, or thereabouts. No prizes for guessing, that's another inch. This was my zeroing group here, so I would have shot up high, being that I was pushing these a little bit harder than I was pushing the 26 grainers. Wound it down, shot a little 5-round group, and then went to town on these other dots. So being that these were reasonably good groups, not crazy good or anything, pretty good, so I stepped on back out to 100. Pretty good results at 100. This is roughly what you're always going to see from me. You've got a little bit of dispersion in the wind. The wind usually comes from 8 o'clock and blows at sort of 5 to 10 k's an hour, and sometimes it slows down, stops, turns around and comes on back. So that's where you get a little bit of these big ones. It's a combination of that and me wobbling around on my bench. But I would like to point out the elevation on these groups is all very tight and very consistent. So here, if we look at the elevation standard on this, we're looking at 1 centimeters worth of elevation. 1, 2, 3 of this group within 5 mils of each other. Even this shonky one that's been blown out by the wind, put it there. Probably looking at about an inch, and even less on this one. Another less than half an inch of vertical dispersion. This one, half an inch again, same again, and a couple of big ones. So what I want to make the point of here is that while these groups are pretty average for me, there's nothing. This is about what I normally shoot. So we're looking at this one that's a 1 MOA group. That's a 1 MOA group, and then you've got your standard sort of 1.5 to 2s, getting blown out by the wind. So that's perfectly normal for me, that's good. But the consistency of this ammunition shows up in the vertical dispersion of the groups. So it's very nice and very consistent. And obviously ZAN comes with targets. So I had to shoot a couple of groups on the targets. Got absolutely molested by the wind on this one. So this one's huge. What have we got here? We've got 3 inches on that one. And on this one, this was a nice calmish bit. About 1.4, so not terrible, not great, but not terrible. So I think being that the numbers are what they are and the numbers really don't lie with this one, if you've got your superior heavy liner in your barrel and you've got a good tune, I would recommend tuning them, 930 feet per second and up, and you're going to get nice groups like this, especially if you're shooting in calm conditions. You may get bigger groups if it's a bit windy. That's just the nature of things. But yeah, nice and accurate. Happy with these little small groups. And I think if I had more time and more ammo, I would end up getting MOA groups for pretty much all of my groups. So to conclude, reasonably priced, exceptionally well delivered slugs. Very accurate. Happy with all the numbers that came through. Happy with the price. Happy with ZAN. As I was with the 25s, I think I prefer the 25 caliber ones more than these ones because I think my gun likes them more. Without the high pressure reg, without the slug power kit, and without all of the tune-up bits that you want to really punch slugs really hard in 22 at least, I think I prefer the 25 caliber ones. But that's not to say that you will. If you have a beast of a gun that wants to shoot these nice quickly and consistently, you're going to have a great time with them because they're very well made. They're very well made, they're very consistent, they're very well packaged, and they're reasonably priced. They're a fair market price. They're not charging you an ultra premium price tag, and they probably could if they wanted to. Definitely worth a shot. Pardon the pun. Bye-bye.